Save us! Save us! Save us! Shriek basements of unwashed halo tees and unsunned neckbeards. Save us, optical discs! Save us from ourselves! Save us from game launchers! Please, save us from cloud gaming! Save us from day one 60GB patches! Surely this device will turn back time to the 2000s and prevent my food porn addiction. You're an OG if you get the reference. Yeah, discussions about the discontinuation of physical game discs are at an all-time high at the moment. And the catalyst was GTA 6 pre-order launch. To summarize, GTA 6 opened its pre-orders on June 25, 2026. And a day before that, they released an article announcing this. It was all fine and dandy until the third paragraph where it states, the physical version of Grand Theft Auto 6, containing a download code inside the box, will be available starting November 12 to support preloading. Initially, I did not get the instant backlash because it's not like Rockstar was the first publisher that did this. After all, the code in the box thing has been going on for quite a while now. Rockstar did respond to the immediate backlash and clarify that yes, you would be able to purchase a physical disc later on, so that shouldn't be a problem. Oh, yeah. Turns out this customer support email from Rockstar misled people into thinking physical disc, but technically, the customer service representative never said that. Also, the Hollywood Reporter confirmed that physical copy meant code in the box. So yeah, Rockstar never had plans on releasing a physical disc for GTA 6. To add insult to injury, 6 days later, this happens. Sony must have seen the GTA 6 backlash and thought, yeah, let's just get this out of the way, shall we? And tank the PR nightmare early on. Anyway, that's basically the extent of the backlash these past few days. As you have seen from the title and the thumbnail, I have strong opinions about this. Perhaps a controversial or hot take to some. I'm sure you guys can't wait to hear my reasoning about this, so let us delve in together, shall we? Just want to let you all know, I just opened a Patreon, so if you want more of these videos, you can donate to me monthly. More details near the end of the video. Please like and subscribe too. Okay, bye. In this section, I'm going to address the main arguments of physical media advocates and romanticists with the goal of removing your nostalgia and rose-tinted glasses. First argument, physical media like optical discs constitute true ownership. Oh, we're starting with a heavy hitter, are we? Okay, before we can proceed, we have to first establish the meaning of quote-unquote true ownership, because what is true ownership in media? In the case of physical media, the default principle to follow is the first sale doctrine, which basically means you can do anything you want with a medium after you purchase it. Yeah, of course there will be a CGP Grey style asterisk with that statement, but let's move on past that for now. With the first sale doctrine, you have the right to do virtually anything with that medium. Lend it to a friend or stranger.
This is how you share your games on PS4. Thanks.
Sell it again with thrice the markup like a filthy scalper. You have that right, and companies like Sony can't do shit. This leads to the second argument, which is, you can perpetually access the contents of optical discs. As it says, granted that the disc is in tip-top shape, your access to its content is in perpetuity because you literally have it in your hands, and not on some data center somewhere in Virginia. No need for a Netflix account barring you from taking that Fred the Movie DVD off its plastic cover and playing it on your GOI player. I don't know what's more shameful, being old enough to remember Fred or thinking adding GOI as a prefix to everything is the funniest shit ever as a 26-year-old. Anyway, I named this section Addressing the Advocate's Arguments in the script, so let me start addressing stuff. In the case of physical media, the default principle to follow is the first sale doctrine, which basically means you can do anything you want with a medium after you purchase it. Objection! This may seem like a pedantic rebuttal, but with Blu-ray discs and some DVDs, you are still going to deal with similar bullshit as streaming on platforms like Netflix. What are those, you ask? They're one of the famous acronyms. Ready? DMCA and DRM. The former is just common sense since, with intellectual property laws and all, of course you just can't claim ownership of the contents of the medium, which is why I'm going to focus more on the latter, DRM. Here's the thing. Physical media advocates are under the impression that since they can do quote-unquote anything via the first sale doctrine, they think that they also have the right to do anything with the contents of the medium. But that is so far from the truth. You are under a license the moment you play that copy of Smosh the movie in your DVD player. The licenses vary, but the general idea is how media companies dictate how your experience should be. Deviate from that and you have just committed the capital crime of copyright infringement. Uh-oh, you just broke the law, son. Time to get in the copyright jail inside Disneyland. Yes, the moment you snoop through a disc, whether you try to extract its content, modify it to remove that you wouldn't steal a car video from the start, or even just do something to skip it, you'll break the licensing agreement. Your players, well specifically Blu-ray disc players, aren't safe either. The Blu-ray Disc Association, or BDA, is basically the overseer of anything BD related, and your Blu-ray discs are basically under their mercy. What do I mean by this? In BDs, you have this DRM, right? And it contains encryption keys that when verified and decrypted by your Blu-ray disc player, it gets the OK and then you can access its contents. What if the BDA revokes these encryption keys? Then you're out of luck, bozo. You'll be staring at a black screen. Or maybe blue. Because your player will just refuse to let you access the content since you failed the vibe check. Objection!
You're grasping at straws, Sentinel. First of all, the ETC presented are such edge cases that the majority of people won't even experience them. And even then, you can just place your Blu-ray disc player that could play those Blu-ray discs with revoke keys.
Objection! So what if they are edge cases? I'm merely demonstrating the parallels between physical and digital media. The entire point of this section was to show how physical media is not immune to the bullshit that is plaguing digital media, and that example was a good way to illustrate my point. And really, you're okay with purchasing another Blu-ray disc player just to access content that's already on the disc but inaccessible due to the will of some consortium that's based in Los Angeles? It really puts into question the idea of true ownership in physical discs, no?
Objection! But as you say, I at the very least have the content on the disc. I still own it, and Sony cannot properly enforce their license since they have to physically take away the disc, which is just unrealistic and costly. I could just rip my BDs into video files and perpetually access it without worry. Meanwhile, yours is in some server somewhere, and access to it can be easily taken away by your corporate overlords.
Objection! That's only if you play nice too. Arr, let me ask ye, matey. Be ye capable of sailing the seven seas? Cause me hearties in the PC space B, and they'll keelhaul any scallywag who doubts him. Like Gaben said, piracy is a service issue. So if this service issue becomes prevalent again, our quote-unquote corporate overlords can stuff it. There's a reason why some pirates believe that the golden age of piracy is back because of the ongoing enshittification of multiple industries relating to media. Like seriously, having a Stream.io piracy setup is far better and more convenient than having multiple subscriptions from legal streaming sites or apps like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney+. You talk about ripping Blu-ray discs into video files as if that's mutually exclusive to your argument, but BD rips are ubiquitous in the piracy space. Speaking about rips, that's an offline setup. You don't want to stream stuff? You also have the option to download stuff too. There's a reason why media servers like Plex and Jellyfin are rising in popularity too. You can self-host your own personal media to these apps. Objection!
My optical discs, they're circle. They're cool.
Got it! I don't disagree with you, but as I said, my goal is to remove your nostalgia or rose-tinted glasses. Let me ask you, my learned disc advocate, how is the spinning plastic circle different from the spinning metallic circle inside your hard drive? full of food to porn. It's important to remember that optical discs are fully digital. They are not vinyl records. They don't have analog warmth. They are ones and zeros pressed into plastic. So while it is noble to champion physical media, fighting for the disc is fighting the symptom. The real war, the one that actually matters, is over digital ownership. Because whether it spins in a player or spins in a hard drive, it's your right to access it that's being taken away. And that fight transcends plastic. Man, there was an ungodly amount of time spent editing in just one section. Now that we've established that the big Satan of consumer rights isn't necessarily digital media, but DRM, yay, video games, my goat has been vindicated. You now may be asking, how do we fight it? What can we consumers do to counter the evil that companies are forcing out on us? For that, we have to change our behavior. Yes, us, the consumers. We have to realize that we do have power in our hands, but that power only manifests when we act collectively. And I do not have to teach you how to hurt companies. We hurt their bottom line, which is cha-ching. For us to do that though, you need to stop being a filthy consumer. No, Timmy, you do not need to play GTA 6. Have fucking principles for once in your life. Put the big boy pants on and actually try to stand on something.
Jill said over the limit, so just get...
That's the first golden principle to start on, okay? Stop being a goy Schumer. Anyway, earlier, I kind of put piracy in a positive light because of the grim reality of these industries, especially the film industry. But for our cause, we actually do want to foster a legal way to obtain our media that also does not infringe on our rights as consumers. We want to empower these legal storefronts and show the industry that, yeah, you could actually make good profits without being evil. And I believe that the heart of the advocacy will be on storefronts. Why? Flashback incoming. 2 weeks ago, I had a small debate with a dude on X regarding GOG glazing, and I basically said how GOG glazing is important so other storefronts would follow its example. The dude replied how there are other storefronts that offer DRM-free games, and how we should also push publishers and developers to release DRM-free games. It actually made me think, did this dude just engage with me to shill his DRM-free storefront? Okay, I'm kidding. But it really did make me think and solidify my belief that storefront advocacy is the way, because it's where the exchange of goods happen. AKA, it's where consumers pay for shit. And it kills two birds with one stone. Not only do DRM-free storefronts signal to other storefronts that they can make money selling DRM-free stuff, but they also signal to developers and publishers that, hey, people are willing to pay for DRM-free games en masse. They will be more compelled to not put DRM in their games once they see the high sales numbers. So, how do we do it? For PC gamers, here's how. First, you should have primacy for DRM-free only storefronts like GOG and Zoom platform. You're welcome, Sean. These storefronts should be your first go-to for browsing and buying games. Now you ask, Sensidane, DRM-free only storefronts? Yes, because championing these storefronts will make the advocacy more impactful. Remember, we are doing this so we could signal to other storefronts that selling DRM-free games are preferred by gamers and thus highly profitable. Ideally, you should stop here and just not buy games from storefronts that's good with DRM. But I know, that's a big ask, and I'm no tyrant, so I took account of this to figure out a compromise. Now, we all know Steam is essentially the storefront for PC games. It's a giant that can't be toppled, so our approach may be slightly different. First, the previous strategy will still work because contrary to popular belief, Steam does sell DRM-free games. There's literally an online list that you can check out so you can still do the same strategy, and it may signal to Valve to make a DRM-free tag for its games as a selling point. This is less effective though, because Valve has really no reason nor incentive to do so, as again, they're the storefront for PC games. So what should we do, Sensidane? You change targets from storefront to developers or publishers and chimp out.
Chimps were everywhere and they had full freedom the way people do. We have a fucking serious problem.
Yeah, you heard me. Unleash your inner and annoyingly chimp out. Remember the golden principle about how you need to stand your ground as a consumer? Well, that's not enough. You put your money where your mouth is, vote with your wallet, and still chimp out after. Look at the state of Western gaming and internalize how absolute dogshit it is at the moment.
This 3-hour indie game is our first 10 out of 10 on IGN in 2026.
The current state of this industry didn't happen in one night, but through the accumulation of years of chimping out from a certain demographic that don't even play video games and despise gamers.
What the fuck is Gamergate? Video game journalism?
They were a loud minority who successfully pressured game companies to capitulate to their demands. We can do the same tactic but to push for DRM-free games. And any agenda really. Anyway, that's basically it for PC gamers. If both methods won't work, just remember to put the golden principle to heart. It's not worth it to give money to companies that actively goes against your interest, or not and be a mindless goy schumer. Just remember, you are the reason that these companies get away with murder, and you should feel ashamed of your enabling, pathetic, weak existence. Was that too harsh? Oh well. Just call it tough love, pal. Now for console players. Honestly, I genuinely feel bad for all of you. Since you're in an enclosed platform, you all are truly subservient to Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo's will. You don't have options like PC gamers. The only strategies I could think of are the chimp out method, actual hard activism, and a hard boycott. Hard activism is self-explanatory if you have been following the Stop Killing Games campaign by Ross Scott, aka Accursed Farms. You're actually trying to change things from a policy level. It's gonna be one hell of a long and bloody fight though, so we should back and support people like Ross as much as we can. It's such an uphill battle, especially at first if you're the one spearheading the movement. What you're fighting for is a mere chance for your voice to be heard by policymakers. So while you do all that, you also gather people sympathetic to your cause and advocate for other methods, like a hard boycott. What do I mean by a hard boycott? I call it the Mudahar promise but for realsies. You won't buy GTA 6 for your PS5, and with Sony ceasing its production of physical discs, you stop console gaming altogether. I know it's the nuclear option, and with the chicanery going on with the memory market, PC gaming isn't entirely appealing either. But what more can you do? Maybe hope for a console hacker who's competent in jailbreaking? They did jailbreak the Switch 1 before. But yeah, hoping for something to happen is not really a concrete solution. Honestly, I'm having trouble trying to end this section because it feels so off with the end so freaking bleak. But that really just shows so much about the times we live in. With such a bleak future ahead, it does encourage us to do some introspection and realize that maybe we should be more mindful of the things we have right now, appreciate and create core memories with them, because we'll never truly know the worth of something until we lose them. You feel me, bros? Anyway, I know how physical media folks can be so passionate, so I have to stress this point again. I am not against physical media at all. I like them, and they should be used to store media in perpetuity. But at the same time, I think a lot of you guys are barking at the wrong tree and going balls to the wall in a misguided battle. That energy would be better off fighting the true enemy, DRM, and for console gamers, total platform control by console companies. As they move away from disc or physical media manufacturing, the real war will be centered around their total control of the platform and pushing hard to dismantle it. Kind of like how the EU forced Apple to allow third-party distribution or sideloading in the EU's version of iOS. So don't worry, I'm on your side. Now we good, right? Anyway, not a single one of you commented in my last video, so I'm gonna try again. If you have made it to this part, comment "Stop the pain, start the soothing, Sensodyne." I hope I could see at least one commenter. By the way, a very special shout out to the very generous soul who donated to my coffee. I know you said not to shout you out, but I just have to, even if it's anonymous. You made my recording setup much more streamlined, and I no longer have to fight with my mic to get my best takes. Thank you so much. It is such a white pill to know that there are such generous people in the world who are willing to give $50 to some stranger on the internet who needs a new mic for his online video essays. So again, thank you very much. So, what do you guys think? I sound better, don't I? Although I do still have a lot to learn when editing or mixing audio, I want my sound quality to get as close as those podcast dudes like Joe Rogan as much as I can in post. Anyway, I won't spend much time in this section. I still have to walk you guys through my Patreon. Gosh, I sound so greedy after just thanking a generous person. But I need to. I really love doing this and I want to go all in. For that to happen, it has to be sustainable. So, here it is. How's it going, bros? My name is Sansidane. Okay, I'll stop with the PewDiePie impression. Welcome to my e-begging platform. You might be wondering, you're like 2 videos in, Sansidane. Why do you already have a Patreon? One word, security. Last summer, I had an epiphany with the dire situation of the job market, my college status hanging, and me already being 26-year-old. My future is hanging by a thread. And even if I do land a job with the CS degree I'm about to get, yeah, biggest mistake of my life. I know I'll just end up miserable. So after that epiphany, I thought, maybe I should try doing YouTube. After all, it was my dream job when I was like 10 years old. Maybe there's still some spark left of that childhood dream of mine. Gathered the motivation and the resolve to make a video, and on June 16, 2026, I uploaded my first video to YouTube, and it did pretty well for a first video. Now, I don't even know if the second video is gonna do as great as my first one, because YouTube is just fickle like that. But one thing I realized is that I can picture it. I can picture myself doing this for the rest of my life. I enjoy ideating, making the script, and surprisingly, editing. I was sure I was going to hate video editing because of how time-consuming it is, but I don't. I didn't really mind at all. In fact, it was even such a rewarding experience when I finished the first and now the second video. So I want to take a leap of faith and go all in, and I ask for your support in achieving that. Before I show my membership tiers, I want to start by prefacing that I see Patreon as a community platform with a monthly tip jar and not an e-commerce website, basically Patreon's original intention. This is why all my membership tiers get the same perks. I don't want any patron to feel inferior or superior just because they tip less or more. I just hope to foster a fun and engaging community who like, care for, and support what I do enough to think I am worth spending money on. Of course, I don't have it in me just to ask for financial support while you directly get nothing for it. You do get something. But before that, here are the tiers. We have candle, battery, generator, substation, power station, and lightning. I named the tiers based on the energy it can generate to keep my lights on. Again, these all have the same perks as the lowest tier, and the only difference is that the amount you donate per month. I know there are ultra generous people who have the means, so options are there if you really want to donate more than $5. I'll say this now though, if your goal is to get VIP treatment or influence what I make, please just stick to the $5 tier. The higher ones are just purely if you have the means and just really want to keep my lights on. Hence, you see exactly what percentage of my monthly utilities each tier covers in the descriptions. Anyway, for the perks, here's what you'll get. First, early access. You get to watch new videos 4 days earlier than everyone. Not applicable for time-sensitive stuff like breaking news or drama. Those go up for everyone at the same time. Honestly, I couldn't think of a scenario for channels like mine though, but I do ask you to grant me this discretion if such a scenario does come. Second, exclusive content. This could be anything. Q&As, bloopers, rambles, behind the scenes, or even my objection sound clips if you guys want them. Again, it could be anything that's not on YouTube or my other socials. Third, is you being a part of the creative process. I'll probably be regularly asking for your input on video ideas, scripts, or just your general preference. As you can read it, I make these videos alone in my room, so your help would genuinely mean a lot. So it's basically anything that goes into making a video and you have a say in it. Fourth and lastly is name in the credits. So a permanent thank you at the end of every video. I'm going to experiment on how I'll do it, so I may show it, I may read it, or even hide it in random spots of the video. So you get all of this for $5 a month, and if you want to be even more generous, then you have 5 more options to choose from. Here's a simple challenge for you. Based on the percentage on each tier, try guessing my monthly utilities. Comment here or on YouTube. Anyway, thank you very much for your support. Like my last video, I really didn't expect much. Like I thought it would have like 100 viewers tops. But as you can see here, 5k views and I got like 120 subscribers from that. I was ecstatic, man. That's why I really can't stop spouting my gratitude to all of you watching this, because it means a lot, man. Like for a first video, and as I said earlier, I really enjoy doing this. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.